Okay, thank you, Chris, for joining us. I just want to give a quick introduction to Chris Bartholomew. Some people run, and some people are runners, and I think Chris qualifies as a runner. We call him Chris the Runner. And this year alone, he's already run 346 kilometers as he preps for a 100K race on February 2. So that's quite a
Yeah,
race.
this Saturday.
And Chris he's widely followed on Facebook by runners, athletes, health enthusiasts. He's often asked questions about the best practices for training, hydration, energy, and recovery. And he's agreed to share what is working for him right now with us here. So, Chris, would you like to tell us a little bit more about yourself? And I'd love to know, did you intentionally become a runner so you could experience better health? Or, just like how long have you been a runner? What kind of brought that on?
Sure. And first of all, thank you so much for having me on the call. I love speaking about this with with anyone really, because it's been a journey and it continues to be a journey. So, and I love the process and love what Shackley offers for me as a runner. I guess, how did I find running? We could start there. I did run track in high school. I ran the 1600. Wasn't really good, but I learned from that I loved being outside and I loved being active. And I realized even at that age that daily physical activity was good for my physical and mental health. Like I experienced huge, I guess just I could really tell that I was in a better mood and a better space, and could come up with answers to problems that were like circulating in my head. And when I would run, like everything just fell into place and made sense. And so I often say that running found me more than I found it necessarily, but it was just a good fit. And I've worked to improve that my entire life.
Excellent. A lot of people do say that when they run, it puts them in a really good mood. So, and there's a lot of scientific proof behind the reasons for that as well. So I'd like to know a little bit more about your running schedule. How long do you typically run, and how often do you run?
So for the past 3 years, I've been trying to log 50 miles a week. So what's the kilometer conversion of that? 70 or so? I'm not quite sure. But so I've been trying to get 50 miles a week. And the best schedule that I found for that is in the morning. So I usually wake up around 4:30, have my Shackley Life Shake, and then I'm trying to get to a trail right by the Shackley home office. Actually, that's my favorite place to run. And so I'll run for at least 2 hours, four or 5 times a week. And I try to get 10 to 15 miles in before work.
Okay, wow. So I was going to ask, outside of running, do you actually go to the gym? But I don't know if you have time to go to the gym.
So actually, I do. I love running, and then I go to the gym, which is conveniently right across the street from the Shackley home office. And I try to focus on one muscle group for maybe 20 to 30 minutes, and then I get ready and I walk across the street to work.
So what kind of workouts do you recommend that would actually help a runner improve their endurance? Or is there anything specific, or do you just say focus on certain areas?
Well, I think generally, for a long time, I avoided working out my legs because I was just afraid that it would make my legs too tired to actually run, because I run up hills a lot. I prefer to run up mountains, and so I thought that maybe that would be enough. And I realized that I need to incorporate some leg workouts if I want to increase my speed. So that's something I'm working with, experimenting with recently. But yes, definitely, I think core work in general is a good start. And then also like upper body strength is part of running, because it's about your posture and your back. And if you're on your feet for that long, like you really need to have good carriage and make sure that everything's kind of taken care of.
Okay, so something like Pilates would be a good idea.
Absolutely. I think Pilates is amazing for running.
Yeah. So I'd also love to know what you fuel your body with to get the best results for run time and for recovery, because you're putting a lot of demands on your body. So how do you go about fueling it? So first, I'm going to ask just regarding food intake. What do you normally eat before and after a run? Like, what do you suggest an active person would include, before they would do a run and afterwards?
So immediately before and after, I guess. Is that
Yeah,
what you're thinking? My favorite thing, and tell me if you want more like food-based items, but I mean, this is definitely food-based, but my favorite thing lately has been the vanilla Shaklee Life Shake, the plant-based one. It, to me, it feels so light after I drink it. It doesn't feel like, and I have the best feeling. There's just really this great like like feeling of well-being after I have it in the morning, and so that's my go-to before a run. Yeah.
What about after?
And then after I try to, I have Shaklee Performance Build Plus mixed with the Shaklee plant-based, the Shaklee Life Shake, the plant shake. I love those two. So I mix those two, and then I'll have that right after.
Okay, that's great. And actually, I love that, because some people try to eat a lot of protein foods or a lot of carbs or whatever. But I like how you described how you feel light. And so when you're doing your run, do you ever feel like you're getting hungry, or do you feel like you're sustained through the use of that Life Shake?
For up to, I would say probably 12 to 15 miles, I feel sustained on the Life Shake. If I extend the run farther than that, then I know I need to eat more. And so I will often take a Shaklee meal bar or a Shaklee snack bars, and I try to stop around like mile 10 and refuel a little bit, because at least the way I work, I need something just taking up that space in my stomach. I couldn't tell you scientifically if I actually need more protein or carbohydrates at that point, but there's just something psychological that I just need something in my stomach at that point.
Yeah. So next, I actually want to hear a little bit about how you stay hydrated through your runs. And I know you've posted about that a few times. So why is it so important for you to stay hydrated? I mean, we kind of know that already, but for you, how does it impact you? Say if you were using just water, or if you're using the other extra things that you're using to stay hydrated, how do you feel that makes a difference?
Sure. And a little digression on this one. You've probably heard of hitting the wall.
Yes.
Or runners now call it bonking. So like bonking is my greatest fear as a runner. And that's when your body is just really low on glycogen. And this has happened a couple of times. And I just feel like passing out, like my legs just feel like cement. And it's a real struggle and mental game to keep on going. And I often have to, like one time I was running and I came up with foods to say because I wanted a burrito. It just sounded so amazing. So I came up with like this mantra of like burrito, watermelon, ice cream, like chocolate. And I would just repeat it over and over until I was done. But so anyway, so saying that, I came to Shaklee Performance Hydrate Plus. So the often just called Performance, kind of by accident. I work in the events department at Shaklee, and we were working on an event where we were trying to make Arnold Palmer's, the Shaklee version. So with the lemon lime Performance and the matcha green tea mixed together. And so I was drinking that all day long. And then I went for a run right after work. And I couldn't believe how I felt so much more sustained in my energy and the power base that I had, that I actually ran my fastest time on this 10-mile loop that I take all the time. And so that was really the moment when I thought, aha, there really is something to these Shaklee products. And so ever since then, I run with a water bottle, a handheld water bottle, and it's Performance, and I often put green tea, the matcha green tea in there, just because I love the caffeine boost, but more of the gradual caffeine boost when I'm drinking it. And honestly, I'll say, ever since I've been drinking that while running, I have never experienced hitting the wall.
No more bonking.
Yeah, no more bonking.
Okay. Now, do you use? I'm assuming that you're using the Hydrate Plus, not the low calorie sticks. Do you use the low calorie Hydrate or the regular?
The regular. But I do use the low calorie actually. So you've heard of athletes and runners taking salt tabs or salt supplements. And I have found that actually the low calorie fill that space for me. And so I'll take the low calories on a run in my, in a pocket, and I will drink those about mile 15 because I've lost enough sodium and electrolytes at that point that I need a boost. And honestly, sometimes just I often use 2 packs or 2 sticks in a drink, drink those at once, and it's an amazing energy boost that sometimes is even better than anything caffeinated. So just that electrolyte and sodium boost at that point is wonderful. So I've really enjoyed experimenting with the low calorie.
Okay. Well, the neat thing is you can experiment with these and you don't have to worry about any negative effects on your body or your health. It's not going to stimulate anything that you don't want it to stimulate. So it's just going to give you the healthy, proper fuel without any side effects, right?
Absolutely. And I full-heartedly believe in that.
Okay, so next I want to hear a little bit about, I want to talk about the topic of supplements. That's my favorite topic. I love talking about wellness and how to amp up your nutrition and build your foundational health. So do you feel, just a quick little opinion question, I guess, do you feel you can get the same results that you're getting now by all the things you're using if you were doing food alone?
No, I don't. And again, that comes down to that experience I had with the performance, but then also with the recovery that came out 2 conferences ago, I suppose. The recovery, you have to tell me the exact, I'm spacing the exact name, but the PM recovery
Recovery complex
is what it's called. Yes, the recovery times have changed so much for me. 2 Saturdays ago, I ran with a group north of the Golden Gate Bridge. There's mountains up there, and it was a really hard 15 miles. And I came back and I was totally exhausted. But I ate a little lunch, and then I was surprised. Like an hour later, I felt totally refreshed. And so I ran another 5 miles. Then I drove home. I had a nap for maybe 15 minutes, and I thought I was done for the day. And after that quick power nap, I felt like I could run again. And so I ran another 10 miles because I was trying to build up that weekend. And that's never happened before, where I feel that I can keep going with small little rest periods. And the only thing that I can think of is that I've been consistent with my, the foundations of Life Shake, and, the Life Strip, Life Shake, other supplements, and the sports nutrition. It's really made a difference.
So what are your main supplements? You mentioned the Life Shake. Do you take any supplements directly before a run just to help you get through the run?
No, mostly the Life Shake, if you do this, but no, as far as supplements go, no. If I'm feeling a lot of muscle fatigue and tightness before a run, I do love Vital Mag. I feel like that just helps my muscles relax, even as I'm going into a run. I mean, often you think like, oh, you're going to, like a run is going to make it worse. But often if I feel like I have the right nutrients in me, then a run actually allows my muscles to relax.
Okay, and that's perfect. So what about right after a run? Like you don't take any, I'm pretty sure you don't take any supplements through a run, except for your hydrate and your recover. Or not your recover, but your...
So Vital Mag sometimes. So this race on Saturday, that's 100K, I'm planning on having Vital Mag with me to take halfway through.
Okay, so that's a great extra tip. So if runners have some Vital Mag in their pocket, that's actually a really helpful thing to take through the race as well.
And I think I might experiment with recovery during the race as well to see how that goes.
Okay. What about right after the run? Is there anything specific that you would recommend right after a run?
So typically I go to my pantry and I take Joint Complex every day. If I, for some reason, don't take Life Strip, I go right to Omega Guard. And let me see, I wrote down a bunch of these. And then also, depending on how I'm feeling, I'll often take alfalfa, and sometimes the stress relief. So yes, I heavily use the Shaklee supplements.
So I think the main things that I'm hearing are the life shake before the run, through the run, the hydrate and the energy teas, in the Vital Mag as well. And then also the low cal hydrate stick for when you need that extra mineral boost.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the run, Recover Complex, also using the Build protein and a mixture with the Build and the Life Shake. And then now on a daily basis, say you weren't going for a run or whatever, like on a daily basis, is there a certain program that you use just to help your body stay healthy and strong?
I go to those foundations. I go to the Life Shake and the Life Strip or a Vitalizer, and those are my go-to as soon as I wake up to fuel my day. Because even, often if I run, if I've had a high mileage Saturday, 20 to 30 miles, like the next day, my body is still going to be experiencing that, like those calorie burns and the stresses of the day before. And so I need that foundation to get me through.
Okay, perfect. Now, I know you could have picked from a lot of other companies, and I know there's perhaps, you work with Shaklee Corporation, so people might think, oh, that's why you're using their products. But would you use their products even if you weren't working for them? Like, do you find, is this the brand that you feel is giving you the best results?
Absolutely. And I actually grew up with Shaklee. My grandma had Shaklee products. My aunt down the street did. And I just thought it was a normal part of life to have these products available. And I absolutely believe in the purity of the products. And I know that nothing is going to harm me by taking it. I was in Miami for a Shaklee meeting last month, and I didn't have any Shaklee Life Shake with me. And so I had to face the dilemma of, do I buy this brand that's in the gift shop of the hotel or not? And it was honestly like, I can't believe what a struggle it was for me to, take any of those other supplements, because I'm so focused on Shaklee.
Is there anything else that you feel that that you want to share with the participants or with anyone who is aspiring to be an endurance athlete? Is there any other tips that you would like to share?
I know I can come across as a bit extreme, and so I don't want anyone to feel like their goals are not worth achieving. It doesn't have to be 100K or 100 miles. I think whatever your goal is, consistency is what has gotten me where I am right now and will continue to carry me forward. And so no matter the size of the goal, because mine have been different at different periods of my life as well. It's just that daily consistency of nutrition, of a great food to almost supplement the nutrition part, and then just that daily activity. That if your goal is to walk more, then it's just making sure that there is time in your day to walk.
That is perfect. Chris, thank you so much for sharing with us. And I think we're all going to keep following Chris the Runner on Facebook. It's actually just completely an inspiration to see that you continue to challenge yourself and that you don't accept just the average. You're always just pushing yourself and just, seeing how much better can you become just as an athlete. And I think that's really inspirational for the rest of us to watch as well. And I'd like to encourage everybody who is listening just to live your best life and to keep pushing the limits as well. Thanks again, Chris, and have a great night.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Julie. It's been a pleasure.